Boys is getting quiet. Go on and get crunk. Head back to Longview, Kelly popping trunk. I ain't even tripping. Riding and I'm sipping. Let me come through, 4-4 steady tipping. On that new lap. Watch the trunk crack. Let me sit sideways, CB running back. Maybe AP, maybe AD. I ain't even tripping cause we some athletes. Messing with Smitty in the summertime. He get pissed if we don't make our time. But we gon' get it, cause we gotta finish. Nebraska Horn Hustlers, man, we diminished. Put them boys little, paint like a skittle. I ain't even tripping, I ain't never double dribble. Cause I'm a player from the Himalaya. Let me sit sideways, man. Maybe back door, maybe fall off. Sipping codeine cause I gotta kill a cough. Let me sit sideways in the big Benz. Oh, you boys, they my brothers, they my friends.
All right. Welcome into what should be a pretty amazing episode of Fullback U. Got two very, very familiar faces, my big bros. Excited to have in Jarrail Jackson. How you doing, fam?
I'm doing good, man. Last day of coronavirus isolation, and I get out.
Oh, okay. You under quarantine? I got
Good.
You. Best wishes.
Yeah, I'm good.
PJ Mills, the veteran. How are you, sir?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm okay.
AJ, what's good?
Hey, man, trying to survive, man. Listen to that. Hey, the boys make it hard for you.
Very.
Yeah. Well, who want to start? I don't want to. Jarrail, you want to take it?
P, you want to go?
He already know what I'm gonna say.
Well, I mean, I'll start off, man.
I'll start it off, and I'll let y'all go.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the issue to me. First, there's a couple. First, do you have who you need on the field? Recruiting, evaluation, development, stacking your talent. Y'all can have it after that. It's recruiting. We don't have what we need in the spots we need them in.
I mean,
yes or no?
Yeah, I mean,
that's a problem. That's a problem.
It's a problem. I think, like I told JD earlier, this is the first time since the OU era where they don't have no 1-2 punch at wide receiver. Like, one dude who really ain't a dog. So, and these your guys, these your guys that you've been with them. And going back to when you was there, it was you and Albert Hall and Corey Warren. Then when y'all left, it was us. And then when we left, it was Fagans and the Mark Claytons and the Iglesias and all those guys. And it kept going. And last year was the first year where it was just one guy. So now you got guys, you getting all these 4 or 5 star receivers, two things. Either you're not developing well, or those guys are able to step in, or you missing on them. Because you got Theo Weiss, who's a 5-star. I know Hazelwood's hurt. You got Rambo, who's this, and you got the little freshman who's there, and none of them want the ball at money time. I mean, us playing receiver, that deep ball he threw to Theo Weiss, we know as a receiver, I'm going to go up and get that ball and catch it. No matter what, I'm not going to keep running. And it's just amazing, man. Like, this been wide receiver U for a while. We had a good trio of wide receivers where it ain't showing up. And then a lot of it, man, just them coaches got to get them dudes to play hard, man.
Ooh.
And that's it.
Let me. My thing is this, y'all, and y'all have to tell me how it was when y'all were there. Long story short, when I was there, Schmitty checked you and Bob checked you day one at the door. Are you a dog right now? If you a dog, and you can talk about transparency, compliance, whatever, difference, okay, whatever. If your ass was not a dog, you was gone. You was out of there. I had 3 buddies that were offensive linemen that did not make it a year in that same signing class because of physicality of our defense. They did not make it. These conversations, I don't know if I'll ever be able to block Tommy. Man, our defense is just killing me, dog. My back is broken. My blah, 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 blah. We had those conversations as freshmen. I have a hard time with seeing how we don't put people on the ground on offense, offensively, blocking, tackling with passion. I have a hard time believing that, and again, it's not a knock on anybody. It may be the generational thing. Jarrail, you coach the kids. You know probably a lot more than I do. Again, just Jarrail, you guys as wide receivers. I mean, they're putting it on our wide receivers. That's where my big question mark comes. Is they're putting our physicality on the wide receivers. And to me, it's like we're the University of Oklahoma. Our blockers, it should start fundamentally with offensive linemen, with tight ends, with fullbacks, with even running backs, and then wide receivers. What do y'all think?
I mean, I think we talked about it before. That mentality is set in the summertime in the weight room. You know what I'm saying? They had Joe Jurassic who said it. You know, Joe was a beast in the weight room. We had Schmitty who was a beast in the weight room. That's where that mentality came because they were just coming. They didn't give a damn about how you felt. They finna come in here and they finna bust you. They finna bust your ass, and we finna get on with it. I don't think they got a lot of that going on around there. You know, and we had coaches who didn't mind jumping in your face and letting you know what was whenever it was.
They didn't even coach you, Jackie Ship.
Jackie Ship wasn't even a receiver coach.
Damn.
He wasn't even a receiver coach. Well, I can remember this. We playing Colorado. And I dropped the ball. He walked over here. That's a goddamn shame. Catch his damn. like that's. But that's what it was, man. I just don't see it. I just don't see it on that staff. Like I said last time, ain't nobody in the stands, man. Go ahead and undress somebody. Go ahead and get up in their face. But I think a lot of it is, man. And I'm gonna say this. It goes back to you look at the staff makeup when Bob came in. Them dudes came from Power 5 schools, big time schools. Them dudes came from, you know what I'm saying, who understood the tradition. Look what we look, you know, it's nothing against them. They the good coaches, but East Carolina, Texas Tech, Washington State, the tradition ain't as rich as we're coming from a Florida, coming from a Kansas State, stepping in the program. And sometimes it does show.
PJ?
All right, let's get to it. So the first thing is, do you know what you need? As a coach, you should know what you need. You should know what you have, what you don't have, and what you want. Once you figure out those three things, then you start, how do we go about manifesting this? If you have someone, one of the thing, I was ready to get busy anytime. But the thing that pushed me was I don't want to be on the bench. I wanted to perform, and I didn't want to be on the bench. We don't have, and I say this from the heart. Everybody know when I played, you can say whatever you want to about that era. I know football, and I played it pretty well. We don't have what we need. Tell me, okay. We went to four national championships under Bob, right? Then we went to, I believe it's 4 Final Fours, right?
Yeah.
Which tells me that we should be able to recruit better than we are. However they did it, we got 4. We didn't win the championships like we would like to, but we got to 4 national championship opportunities the old way, got to 4 national championships somewhat, however you want to look at the Final Four. We didn't get to that next game. We got to the Final Four, which is something like this era's national championship opportunities. We got to 4 of those. Now we didn't maximize them. We didn't get the next 4. We didn't get a championship out of that. But what I'm saying is we've won enough. We've had enough examples of our consistency through this era. Why can't we get better players? Why don't we have depth? Well, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this real quick. And you too, Jay. When is the last time we've had a group that you trusted? Did you trust the entire D-line? Or you trusted the entire linebacker core? Or you trusted the entire secondary? I'm not even going to put the whole defense on it right now. I'm going to say, when is the last time both of you guys felt a unit, not the defense, which it should be with what we've done, but a unit, defensive line, all of them going to get it. Secondary linebackers, whatever. When is the last time we've seen that?
Jarrail, before you take it, I just want to say one thing. The units that I saw when we were there would push your ass out of there if you were not ready. The defensive units that if you were not a dog, if you were not ready, they would expose you. If you weren't a starter, your ass had to practice with them on scout team all day. And you didn't want that. And it would knock you out and make you quit football. I'm sorry, Jarrail. You go ahead and take it from there.
I just think, I'm gonna say the last time you probably had a unit on defense that you could trust was probably Bob's last year when they played Georgia. And that's probably the last time you probably had some legit dudes that you could trust on that staff. Now, as recruiting wise, man, I think the biggest thing is back when those guys was in there, those guys owned Texas. They knew where their money was. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna try to go get in a battle out in California. I ain't finna try to go get in a battle out in Virginia. I'm gonna go to Texas, and I'm gonna own every guy I got out of Texas. And they never lost a kid that was a dog that can play out of the state of Oklahoma. Ooh. They offered Ryan Broyles the day after he offered him he was the last scholarship, and they got him. That's the deal. Like, we want to go to Maryland. We want to go, which they play good football. They play good football in Maryland. We want to go all over the map. But the reason the SEC is good, because when I was at Mississippi State, I could drive 2 hours to see him play on a Friday night and drive back to a game. He saw me on the regular. Maryland, I got to fly from Oklahoma all the way to Maryland on a Friday. Ain't no way I'm going to be able to do that. Now, I remember Jackie Ship and all those guys on Thursday night jumping in them cars, driving all the way down to Dallas, watching them games, and be back in that on Saturday morning. Mm-hmm. So they was looking at. They knew they was going to get dogs. They wasn't getting the star ratings. I think we got a bunch of guys who they 5 stars, but they here to play for the Jordan brand. They want the Jordan. They want. I want the fresh kicks. I want to be like that because you just watch how they act on Twitter. They lost, and the first thing they do is jump on Twitter. I can't believe y'all hitting us up like this. You know where you at? You in Oklahoma, man. If we got beat like that, I ain't talk to my mama. I just think, and it goes back to some of the coaches too, because the coaches be on Twitter just as much as the kids, promoting and doing all that. And then now when you get hit in the mouth, you go in hibernation. And I think the kids play like that.
Listen, I'm glad Lincoln Riley's here. I'll say it again. I'm glad Lincoln Riley's here. But it is time to treat him as the head coach, not the offensive coordinator. Mm. If the defense is not playing well, that's his responsibility too. He is responsible for this dominant program. And again, I'm not saying I want him gone. I'm saying he has to do better with his program. And it starts with being able to get guys in. Jarrail, you would know better than me. Is it still only 25 guys you can get, or did they change the number?
Yeah, it's only 25. But like I said,
so you can only get 25 guys, man. Bama, they get all these guys. They can get 25 like we get 25, man. Go find our 25.
Hey,
this is getting ridiculous.
But again, though,
we act like it was the 70s and Alabama's getting all 50 guys and Clemson's getting 60. No, they're getting 25 guys just like we are. Find our 25.
Hey, go back to what your position coach can handle though. What your position coach can put up with. Some position coach can't put up with a Jarrail Jackson or PJ Mills. Oh, man. A kid who he may not cause me no trouble. He may act like he's a dog, but he ain't no real dog when the game come on. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want that trouble because I can't handle it in my room. Now, you come down as a UCO and I was there, I got a bunch of criminals. Now, I put my hands on you because I can handle that. And the boys went out and played like that. So it comes back to, what do they really want? What can they handle in that room? Them dudes at Alabama, they have them dudes at Alabama. And I was talking yesterday, it shouldn't be a drop-off. Okay, we lost CD Lamb to the league, right? One guy. Them boys up there lost 3. And they rolled 3 more up and they still rolling. So it got to be something that's going on in the development of the players behind the scenes that we ain't seeing. Because there's no way, because they lose way more defensive guys to the league than we do. And they just roll dudes up and they still get in it. Them guys was there last year. Okay, yeah, there's no spring football. It was no somewhat all season, but you still had time with them. Them guys should have grew up a little bit and had a chance to play. So you got to look back at, I go back again, how hard are they being pushed in practice? I mean, I know Bob had, when we was there, we're gonna go 11 on 11. It's gonna be live for 5 minutes.
2-a-days all the time. There's
never be live
practice. Yeah.
It's gonna be live. If you don't want to, we're gonna practice hard. Like we're gonna practice hard. So some of that is like, I just don't know how much they're being pushed down there. I don't know how much strain and grind they doing. if it's just like it's a feel good camp.
Well, I go back to guys. You guys can tell me, PJ, but keep your thought. But what was it like when y'all were there? Like, would the seniors push you out of workouts? Would the guys that were practicing, were the defenders scary when you were there? Were you intimidated to go across the middle? Were you worried about trying to block DBs? Did you even debate go in to crack a linebacker? What was that like?
Well, I mean, I wasn't scared to go across the middle, but you knew there was going to be, what to pay if you did. So you got to be mentally ready for that. My issue is, do we have relationships across the country that we should? Like in some of these schools, listen, I know Texas has forever been the fertile ground for Oklahoma football. And obviously some of the great players in Oklahoma as well. But if all we're trying to do, and I'm not accusing anybody of this, I'm just saying, if all we're trying to do is just get Texas and Oklahoma guys, get guys that can play and they become Oklahoma guys. Now, that doesn't mean if you got an Oklahoma guy, you go get a guy that's got a bigger name. If you think he's the better player, get him. Right? Get him. Because there's a lot of great players. Billy Simpson grew up in Oklahoma. Was Jamel from Oklahoma? Was Buster Rhymes from Oklahoma? No, he's from Miami. When you get here, you assume the evaluation, development, and relationship building. You know this, Jay, and you know this too. That is the lifeblood of your team. Who can you get here, and why are you bringing them? Listen. If you say, "Hey, Jarrail, hey man, there's a guy over here I think you should check out," you're gonna tell me why. Why you think? P, I appreciate it, but why I need to look at him? Well, he does this. Okay, what else? What's his attitude like? What's he like in school? You're gonna ask me some questions, and then if you feel like, okay, then you're gonna go over there and you know what to do when you get over there. I love the getting people out of Texas because it's close and they'll feel more comfortable being able to go home. Obviously, get as many OU kids as you can that you feel can play on this level at a high level. But we have to be able to have relationships somewhere than just Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah,
that's the base. That's the base. But we have to be able to get our 25, and I don't see why we're not getting 25 in this era. I don't get it.
I'm gonna ask you this though: when them kids came from out of state, it was a coach or some players on the staff that educated them on the tradition of what they was coming to play for, and what they was coming to play for, right or wrong.
Right.
So I don't think we even have that. So when the kid come in, I don't think they understand what they coming into. I don't think they understand what they coming into playing for, and the expectations of playing at Oklahoma. I think we do a good job of recruiting kids, getting kids, but are we getting the 5-star dogs? Are we getting the dogs that got dropped? You know what I'm saying? Hey, he got an injury. He's still a 5-star, but I'm gonna let you have him. It's gonna look good because Alabama and Georgia still on there, but we dropped off of them. But nobody know that. The only coaches know that.
So let me ask you this, Jay. And this is all with love. You know that we all love the school. You think the defense has been good? Has been filled with dogs the last 4 or 5 years?
No,
I don't.
They always had one or two. They had one or two.
That's a problem. There's supposed to be 11 guys over there. Not 1 or 2 ready to go get it.
PJ.
And I'm not taking this against anybody. I'm just saying.
No, you're right.
I'm not acting like I was Jerry Rice. I'm just saying.
No, you're right.
This has to change at a certain point. And when is it?
Well,
but I'm gonna tell you this. Go ahead. So when Bobman was there, you had and even back when you was there, you had 1 or 2 guys who was highly rated. But then you went and got some dudes who had chips on their shoulder, who was dogs, who would come in. Yeah, they may not have been a 4 or 5 star. They may have been a 2 or 3 star. But you took a chance. Prime example, Brandon Everidge. Nobody knew about Book. Book was a bad option quarterback. He came in to play quarterback. He threw a curl around to me that sailed in the air. At least told him he couldn't play quarterback no more. But then his mentality, he flipped and switched over and played safety and became an All-American. But they brought in dudes who had a different mentality, who was dogs, who was going to cause you some trouble. I mean, you was going to have to make sure Book went to class. You was going to have to went to class. You was going to have to make sure DeMond went to class. But them dudes came in, you know what I'm saying? Them dudes came in and it began to build a culture and a competition, hold each other accountable. I don't see them dudes holding each other accountable right now. I mean, I I'm gonna get mine, I'm gonna get yours, you know what I'm saying? And then they get on Twitter and wanna cry to us. We've been there. You got the best of the best. You wasn't there when we was in that little white building in the middle trying to you wasn't there when that. You got the best of the best.
Man.
Understand where you at.
The physicality though. I go back to the plays that other people make against us make us look like we're not the physical team anymore. Make us look like we're not the physical program. Make us not look like we're the bully. Other people pass interfere us, target us. And that's where I think it's a complete deal of what both of y'all are saying of what, yes, it's recruiting different guys. Yes, it's bringing guys in that understand the mentality. What it is day one, before they even get here, like you said, they need to understand, okay, maybe like you talked about, PJ, maybe we have to be at Clemson right now. Get under the radar, shut the hell up, and just go play football. Not be as big as Alabama, but try to figure out a recipe to get there, figure out how we can tackle people up high. My thing, guys, again, the blocking and tackling, especially between the tackles, or right when they get on the edge, are some things that it's hard for me to watch. We don't have defensive mismatches. When was the last time, y'all bring up position groups, when was the last time we had a front seven where you said, man, I feel comfortable just blitzing or, just rushing 3 or 4 and we'll get there? Or, hey, we got some guys that if we blitz one backer, then we got a better chance of blah, 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 blah. But before you answer that, riddle me how we are, because the game plan, Jarrail, you're an offensive genius. You know where I'm going. The game plan right now is just throw the ball up. Spread those guys out. Whoever they're manning, that guy goes deep, jump ball. It's going to be for offense. We're telling our guys it's going to be PI or a big game. What do we do? What do we do, Jarrail? What do we do, PJ?
I mean, I'm gonna keep saying the same thing. If we don't have it, go get it. So let's look at it like this. I don't want this to come across as any of us are against OU. That would be the dumbest thing in the world to think. Right. Or any of us don't want all those kids over there to shine. We've been there. Trust me. When I played, we was more maligned than anybody. We had to take that. Right? Your play dictates how people look at you. There's a lot of people that's on that 2000 team, right? That get a lot of run because they say they was on the national championship team, but didn't really play. Right? So you got to own that. You got to own the criticism. You can't come to University of Oklahoma and don't think you're gonna get criticized if you're 1-2 in the first 3 games. Where is that acceptable anyway? Would that have been acceptable in Washington State, Jarrail?
Nah.
So why would it be acceptable here? And I'm not saying they're not playing hard. I'm not saying they're not trying. What I'm saying is when I see us play teams that are equal to us, either we out-talent teams or we don't win. That's the problem. We out-talent teams or we don't win. Am I wrong?
You didn't say out-physical.
Right. I mean,
yeah, and physical. Yeah, we're not physical enough at the point of attack. And if we don't out-physical them or out-talent them, not gonna win. And that's as of right now.
You're so right.
And that's Jarrail. Is that real?
That's real. I mean, and like you said, we not.
This is out of love. I'm saying this stuff because I wanted to change. It ain't trying to beat down kids that's doing something that we did 25 years ago, or however long it's been. I say this out of love. I want it to change. It's got to change at the top. And whatever guys are here right now, that doesn't take you off the hook. You got to do your job, and you're not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, and for the boys, if they feel like we're against them.
We're not against them. This is with love. I want to change, man.
When we was 0-4, we was really catching it. 0-4,
yeah.
They got a Fire Coach Blake song on the radio. You turn the radio on. I mean, they doing all that. All we hear, man, we love the program. I think it got to change from the top on down, like you said. I think the coaches got to show more. I mean, get in their face. I mean, don't feel like because you're on national TV, you just gonna sit back and let it go because they play like that. They play like that. We make a big play and they just let it go. They just let it go. I have yet to see a coach on this staff, and it's nothing against them. I work with all of them. I have yet
somebody
undress somebody on the sideline for what happened. Bob would have called timeout, man. And hey, defense, we're not finna start this again. Like this ain't finna happen again. Like let's go. Okay, you say you addressed in the locker room. How do you dress in the locker room? How did you do it? Did you talk to him? Did you get after him? No. Hey, nothing gets nobody going by. I'm on national TV and my head man just undressed me. You're going to do one or two things. Either you're going to come out here and you're going to play with some fire, or you're going to fade away and everybody going to know you ain't no dog. One or two things. You watch across the country, man. I watched Mike Norvell. Dude got a stupid. He went out in the middle of the field and undressed him all the way to the sideline. Ain't nothing wrong with that. The kid bounced back and had a great game. I just don't see it. Like I told JD last week, we got 8,000 people run up and down the sideline with them towels, swinging it when we doing good. We got the strength coach, he talking to us, but when something go wrong, they all scatter. They don't want the kids to be mad at them. Come on, man. You got to go on. You got to dress them. Go get it.
No, you so right, man. I go back to it's a complete mentality. You know, when I don't see the same program. I don't see the same fight. I don't see the same physical. Wow, big hit. Whoa. They don't see the excitement that we got over a turnover the other night. We acted like we won the Super Bowl. I mean, I was happy we got a turnover, but man, I mean, it's like the small celebrations. Clemson's sitting here one hand and picks like that. I mean, and they ain't acting like they, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's bro. Oh, he did that Wednesday. Oh, okay, yeah, you know, I told Jarrail this off air, PJ, but some of the same talks that I'm having, I have to have with my 6th grade team. You know, I have to have physicality talks, and we have to tackle the ball carrier harder. Their ball carrier is running faster downhill than we are to make the tackle. You know, how do you fix that in the middle of the season, guys? How do you fix that on the go?
Man, that's just a mentality that gotta. Right now, the players got to decide they want to play harder, and they gonna execute. And it's the coach's job to hold them accountable. You know, little things, hold them accountable. Every little thing they do, hold them accountable. Don't be afraid to. I mean, they should be scared right there to walk in the meeting room and see what's gonna happen at the meeting. Like, you should be scared to see that highlight video that's gonna happen in that team meeting when they put it up there. If they still do that, you know, that's how you gotta get it done. I mean, the Alabamas, they physical in practice, man. You know what you're gonna get. You know what Nick Saban gonna bring. You know what Dabo gonna bring. They gonna come. They gonna get physical, and he don't care because he feel like the next dude will be able to step up and do his thing. I think our development gotta change. Like, we getting 5 stars from what the recruiting thing is. We doing good, but now here it is year 4, year 5, and your dudes got to be able to. Them dudes been in the program. They've been in your system. They understand what's going on. So they got your mentality of what this program is right now.
PJ, real quick. I loved how we received the ball. We're going to force a mentality and drive the ball down, and we get to 4th and inches and kick a field goal. I mean, we're when it comes down to game time, Iowa State was able to force a run. We're expecting to get a pass interference call at the very end of the game. I get it, but we're 53% pass, they're 55% run. Throughout the game, we're like you guys talked about, just the mentality, man. The one-on-one tackles, the breaking the tackles, the creating gaps. I thought our line did a little bit better at creating some gaps. Our runners are young. They're small. There's things that we are talking about that don't describe the University of Oklahoma. Because there's days, guys, where we could have. I'm sorry, PJ, I'll pass it to you. But you at the University of Oklahoma, usually you have the coaching. You have the physicality, you have the explosive playmakers, you have the blocking, tackling that it takes. If you combine those things and just play average, you're going to win most games. We don't have that right now, PJ. Go ahead.
Are most of the line, what year are most of the offensive line right now?
Oh, Creed
It's a mix.
Senior, yeah, they got a few young guys that I think they're playing two, like a redshirt freshman and freshman at guard, and then Ely's like a sophomore, redshirt sophomore, junior, or something like that.
We got them guys. You got some guys that play, you know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm just saying. I know in this particular thing that we're doing today, it's going to sound like the same thing. Okay, so there was a point where Clemson was not in the spotlight, right? What they do?
They wouldn't got it.
How they do it?
Man,
They knew what they were looking for, right?
Yeah.
They were able to convince them to come to Clemson, and they were able to stack talent around that, right?
Yep.
If Clemson can do it and has a recent resume and one championship in 81, we got one of the greatest resumes ever. And I'm not just talking about just back when Bud Wilkinson and Swiss. I'm talking about if we just do this 20 years. It's a great resume. Until, and I say this with love because I really mean it, until the coaching staff is able to bring in what we need, we can't just keep out-talenting people, man. We got to be the tough guys again. We got to be the bullies along with the talent. And we can't have just seniors, a little bit of juniors and freshmen. I don't see in this era of winning as much as we have, we can't get 25 guys because that's all they can get. I could see if this was the old days, you can get 80 of them. They can only get 25. Where is our 25 that's going to make a difference from here forward? That is what they need to focus on. Well, obviously, they need to focus on the rest of the season. But I'm saying the evaluation, talent level, development, and stacking talent, and being able to pull a guy out if he ain't playing well because you got another guy that can go in, that is when this is going to change as far as championships, winning them. We've done a great job getting there. I'm not saying that this era has been bad. It's been phenomenal. There's been so much success. I've been so happy over most of this time. Don't take it other than that. But I'm saying we're losing to people we shouldn't lose to.
That was my
and
fault.
Giving up leads last week for somebody we didn't need to be giving up that big a lead that we had at home. Right? So I'm not saying these things can't happen to anybody. I'm just saying guys got to play better, play harder, and we have to have who we need on the field. We are saying, I'm saying with love, anybody out there, you family, from an OU perspective. That's how we are. OU Live Familiar. I say it all the time. But we do hold each other accountable. Fellas, like others have told us, you got to play better.
Yeah. And like I said, with the recruiting,
that's where it's going to change, Jay. The recruiting is where it's going to change.
I know how we did it at Mississippi State. And we knocked a bunch of 5 stars. So what we would do is we would go in, and if you was a guy that was on our board, every week, us as coaches, we watched your film and we did a highlight tape of your good and your bad plays. And if your bad plays was just – so we knocked 3, 4, 5 stars. We knocked the defensive end who was a 5-star who ended up going to Bama who really didn't play. We knocked him because of the simple fact that his bad plays was he didn't chase the football if it went away from him. He didn't play hard unless it came to his side. And Dan had that in mind. Mississippi State was a program where you had to be a blue-collar worker. You had to be a dog. And if you ain't chase that football, you wasn't no dog. And so that's how he was able to pull out. That's how he was able to pull out like Fletcher Cox and Dak Prescott and those guys because he watched those guys. We watched those guys game tape every day, every week, and we did the good and the bad. And if he felt like his bad plays were outweigh him, then we didn't take him. You know, so and I'm not saying this is what they do. You know, they may take their highlight tape and be like, well, he doing good in highlight tape and he got Oregon, Alabama, and all them guys on him, so let's get in on him. Some places do that. But the places like Alabama and those places, they do the same thing because that's where he got it from. They go out and they dig deep. Okay, you a 5-star, so I'm gonna be critical of you even more than I am of a 1 or 2-star because you got all them star ratings. Let me see if you can really get it done. And are you getting guys that fit this mentality for this program? Are you getting guys that understand when you come here, it's gonna be hard-nosed football? Yep, we got the Jordan brand. Yep, we're gonna throw it around. But damn, them receivers gonna be hard. Them receivers gonna make you play. That secondary, when they come up, and it's been like that since way back. When we hit you, you gonna know you was there. The linebacker core, it speaks for itself with Bosworth and all those guys. And then up front, like I told him last week, it ain't a guy. When I was there, we did Oklahoma drill. You see Roy, you be like, man, you want to skip? You want to go with me? If I look at this secondary right now, nah, come on. I even take on a D lineman. Come on. I'll take on y'all. And I think it's just the mentality of everybody on that team, man. You got to have a mentality like we ain't Debo no more. You got hit. after what happened last year against LSU, everybody finna come at you. Everybody finna come at you because LSU knocked the wind out you and you didn't fight. You didn't fight back.
They think we soft, man.
Everybody feel like,
they do. They think we soft
like that right now.
Let me ask you
this,
this,
we soft right now.
Let me ask you this, because PJ made a great point. And I meant to say Creed's a redshirt junior, and I meant to say that we're rotating a freshman with some junior guards. Ely's, believe, like a redshirt junior. So we're not really. Jarrail, are other people? Are we expecting things too early from people, or do we play people earlier than other people? Do other people? Does Mississippi State? I know Iowa's king of making guys wait till being juniors and seniors and playing with some grown men. BYU out here playing with 30-year-olds. Not really, but but seriously. And I mean, does that matter? Does that happen other places? Let me know.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. I just think you got to do a good job of you bring guys in. Those guys got those redshirt guys come. If you redshirt them, they got to get bigger, faster, and stronger in their redshirt program. And then you got to do, as a coach, you got to do a good job of developing those guys throughout the year. So now something happens. Like now, like it's amazing. And it's amazing. You keep going back. I keep going back to Alabama and their receivers. Okay, so they lost Calvin Ridley. Okay, they lost Calvin Ridley.
Jerry Jeudy steps in.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy and all those guys stepped in. Okay? those guys left. And then they still rolling right now. And it's just the development of what they same thing about same thing about BV. He lose 4 up front to the NFL. And he got 4 freshmen that come back in and they still rolling. So a lot of that comes back to how much are we really developing those guys in this program to because now this year 5. This is your program. Ain't no more Bob guys. So this is it. So now these are your guys that you got in this program, and they take on your mentality of what you put in that program. When Bob was here, we had Bob mentality. You knew it. You knew what was up. So now the 2 most important guys in the program is the head coach and the strength coach. So now they taking on the mentality of what you got. This is our mentality. We're gonna lay there, we're gonna sleep all day in a workout. That's the mentality that's what we got, so that's what these guys doing. So and that's how you got to start. What you're seeing now is the development of your guys. Theo Weiss, he been here for how long? Booby Riley, what's his name? Booby, he been here.
Yeah,
Pat, what's his Justin Broyles? Those guys been here, so they've been through the program. They understand what's going on, so they got the mentality of what the program is right now. Now you gonna have to come in and take a chance on a guy that's gonna come in here with that mentality that's gonna change it. But can you handle it? Can your coach?
Listen, and y'all gonna laugh at this when I say it. I'm sorry to get amped up, but bro, I'm reading Bookie's mentions and the shit's not funny. Like, it's not funny the other night what they were saying to him. But the dudes that I played with, if that was me, they'd read the shit to you on the plane. Oh yeah, JD trash. Oh yeah, JD should be staying in Iowa. JD should be not doing this. Oh look, they already posted the video of JD not blah. That was how it was. It didn't have to get to the coaches. The guys around me would clown you. Man, dog, you this, you that. The other thing I gotta think of, go ahead. But the other thing is that a sign of what's behind him? Is that a sign of where we are? What is it? That's just the nature of the program right now. That's just where it is.
It's always been like that. If you win, you're the man. If you win at a high level, Oklahoma, you're the man. You're gonna be remembered. If you're on a team that didn't win, even if you were good, a lot of people only remember eras. Was it a good era? Was it a bad era? Now the true fans know when guys played and who was who. But again, at this point, I'm not necessarily worried about what the fans think. We got great fans. They're going to be there. I'm not even worried about that. I'm not taking them for granted. I'm just saying we got great fans. Again, taking on someone's personality, like you said with Coach Stoops, but he had the guys to show for that mentality.
Woo! Day one.
Right? He had guys to show for that mentality. And again, I love the Lincoln Riley's here. I would have loved to play for him. Enjoy that offense very much. But he's also in charge of the defense because he's the head coach. You have a guy running your defense, but you're in charge of everything on that football program. And if the defense doesn't have what it needs, he's not off the hook. He's the head coach. you are probably top 2 guy on that campus. If we being real, how people look at it. The president and the football coach.
Yeah.
Now, there's other people that are very important that we don't necessarily know who they are right now, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah. President and the head football coach. He's doing a good job offensively. Defensively, it has to get better, and that's not just on Grinch. Yes, Grinch is the defensive coordinator. That man got here last year. It was like that before that. Let's get on it.
Well, you're right, PJ. I mean, because on the flip side, I can say, oh, well, they only scored 37, or, oh, well, we only did. They had a bunch of penalties that were plays that were called back. They had, plays where they were closer, and it just schematically, man, just the experience, PJ, a shovel pass, or Jarrail, a shovel pass on the goal line, things like that. I mean, the deep balls that are coming that you may want to try to make a play for. We got away with so many holds that they didn't see. I could go on. The smart and physical football plays from the experienced guys just aren't happening.
Man, again, let's look at the coaching staff now. Mangino was crazy. I'm gonna go off on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go off on you, be physical. Jackie Shipp, I'm gonna go off on you, be physical up front. BV and Mike Stoops, they gonna fight each other and they gonna go at the players. They gonna make sure you playing hard. The only guy that we probably had, I said, was somewhat passive was Spurrier. He was a little bit passive. But here's the deal with him though. He had no problem getting in our face when we wasn't playing well. And then you had Bob at the top, who's a defensive minded head coach who, you took on their mentality. Now, Bebo do a good job of getting those guys, but then come back to Mangino was at K-State. He was at Iowa. Again, it's that mentality of where those guys was at. They understood the tradition where it wasn't okay to lose. These guys are nothing against them. Texas Tech, it's okay to be 8-3. Washington State was okay for us. Washington State it was okay for us if we locked up at 111. Oh, shoot, my kids ain't have to go to school. So and then you go to East Carolina. It's okay. It's okay to be 8-3. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna mess around and you're gonna sneak up on somebody and beat them. It ain't the same when Bob came from Florida, championship. Venables came from K-State, Snyder's championship. Ship, Alabama. Kale played at Oklahoma. It's just a different pedigree of what those guys are. Those guys doing a great job now, offensively wise. But I think at some point, the pedigree of where you've been and where you started and how you worked your way up, gonna really set the tone, because now this is where you need it. This is where now you got a young team, and I gotta be able to lean on my coaching pedigree from where I came from to help me get this point across to those guys about how they gonna play. I've been in the big games before. Okay, you're East Carolina. How many big games gonna be in Houston? You gonna be in Houston? That's gonna be one, and then you may sneak up on somebody. Texas Tech, you ain't supposed to beat us. You may jump up and beat us, and then you happy. You happy. But it goes back to just understanding the tradition and the pedigree of where you get what you're getting yourself into. Because a lot of those guys just now figuring out what it means to walk. A lot of those coaches just now figuring out what it means to walk those halls down there, and the pressure that goes on with walking those halls. Understand, you're gonna get criticism from whoever, and this place ain't just like no other. And once again, I love them. They do a good job. I work with them, but sometimes you gotta look at how much have they been in the fire, the true fire. Well, I've been on that championship level. I've been expected to keep a championship level at all times. And some of them haven't, and now now you're starting to get the kids to where they comfortable at, the what they comfortable coaching. Those are the kids you're getting in. Instead of having the Tommy Harris's, I'm gonna take a chance on the books who I'm gonna develop and stuff like that. So I think they just gotta band together and truly find an identity. Yeah, Speed D is an identity they got. Okay, are you just gonna be speed, or you gonna be speed and you're gonna be physical? Is that what you're looking for? I'm looking for big guys that can run and can hit. Offensively wise, yeah, we know it's the air raid. You're going to dink and dunk, but you still could be a little bit physical in the run. You Oklahoma. Man, you Oklahoma. You line up and run. You just run the ball. You've been running the ball. You've been known to run the football. Run the football. You got a young group of wide receivers who haven't developed yet, who haven't shown you they can make plays on the outside. Run the football. You got running backs that can run the ball. Run the ball. Run the ball till you can't run it no more. And then lean on your tight ends until you have to throw the ball till you develop that guy on the outside. You know, it's different now. You ain't got no CD Lamb. You don't have no Hollywood Brown that transferred in. You don't have no D.D. Westbrook that transferred in. You don't have those guys. So now as a coach, this is when you got to really batten down. I got to spend time with them dudes. I got to physically get in it and understand what's going on. But if you ain't never physically been held at that level to understand it, it's gonna be hard to kind of dig down and do it when you got to do it.
Go ahead, PJ.
And piggybacking on what Jay just said, I believe everything I said, and I believe what you guys said. But what they have to do, one-on-one, look in the mirror. You know the truth. Are you playing the way you're capable of playing? And the team has to hold themselves accountable, because in reality, it doesn't matter what we say. It matters what they think, what they're willing to do together going forward. They got to get themselves out of this. And there's enough time to change the trajectory of this season. I'm not saying the Final Four. I don't look like no Final Four team to me right now. But there are still more games to be played, and you can win games playing better. You have who you have right now. So the recruiting thing I was talking about, I still feel that. But as of right now, it should be y'all against the world.
Yeah, what they should do is right now, you go in on Sunday, close them doors, tell them boys, hey, look, it's a Twitter, it's a social media ban. Man. If I can't social media, I'm getting rid of you. It's a social media ban. We locking these doors and we going to work. I'm not worried about what nobody say on the outside of here. We working what we got in the inside right here. He do that, and them boys come out with a different mentality and play, because it ain't gonna get no easier. Because going to Texas ain't finna feel sorry for you
at all.
Embarrass you too. So what they need to do is, don't hop on Twitter, which that's what they do. First thing they do, they want to hop on Twitter. They want to feel so. I'm not gonna feel sorry for you, because when nobody feeling sorry for me when I was 0-4 and I sneak in the back doors Chili's and get something to eat, or when the teacher graded me extra hard because we just lost, and this dude here, so I'm not feeling sorry for you. I'm not gonna feel sorry for you when you pull up to the school. Like this is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna feel sorry for nobody over there, because we've been through that. The foundation's been laid. It's been laid. It's been laid by physical football. So we took all the criticism. You ain't have to come back to school and they got 5 rider trucks in front of your school when you lose with each coach name on there like that. Like, I'm not gonna feel you got it good. Just go play football. Just go play football. That's just coach hard, play football.
When you
this is a pride thing.
It is.
It's a pride thing. Right now, this is a pride thing, because people like us are talking about them, other people are talking about. Now, we're saying this with love because we all been there. But it don't matter what anybody says. It matters what are y'all going to do about it from here forward. You can talk all you want. We can talk all we want. At the end of the day, you cats are out there playing. So if you want this narrative to change, you got to be the one to change it. You got to be the one to turn around this season and make it better. It's 3 games. Y'all got more than that coming, hopefully, if the corona don't get worse. Y'all played 3 games. You're 1-2. Acknowledge that, go to work, and do something about it. Hold each other accountable, like Jay was saying, like you say. You're the only ones going to get yourself out of this mess. People can cheer for you as much as they can at home or in whatever stands they let somebody go to. But y'all got to do the work in game time. You have to be able to beat teams without just out-talenting them.
Well, and you're right, because we got to be able to find some fight. Because run game, our running backs had 23 carries for 94 yards. So we had less than 100.
We didn't even get a buck.
Well, we didn't get a buck. Our leading receivers are tied in with 5 catches, 74 yards. I mean, it was what Jarrail said. I mean, you don't have that 1-2 combo, and we're leaning on our receivers. Starting with the defense, bro. Listen, you can tell me what y'all saw, and I don't want to be too critical of the guys, but we're just not getting D-tackle play, y'all. I mean, we're not getting push up the middle. Our edge players, I thought, played pretty well, D-ends. Benito got back there pretty well. Isaiah Thomas forces the fumble, and we do get the recovery by the D tackle. But on the goal line, man, it's like they're not there. We're not where we need to be. Our linebackers aren't. They're faster guys, but they're still liabilities in space. For instance, Asamoah drops on the cover 2. Tampa 2 drop. Bless his heart. The kid probably doesn't know that much. He just drops to an area, doesn't even find a guy. And Jarrail shaking his head. He know these things. I mean, they come with time, and I get it, all that, but I mean, maybe this is why BV plays juniors and seniors a lot of the time. You know what I'm saying? Especially at the linebacker position. And then I'll look at the linebacker position, and I just think of how BV used to have 6 linebackers. We used to have guys that were rotating in and out that were scary guys, man. There were guys that were coming to hit you, cover you, tackle you, be behind the line of scrimmage. And I just don't see. I don't even want to. I love some of the DBs and the kids. I mean, I think they're good kids. Go ahead.
DBs are good kids. I mean, I think if I'm a player right now on defense, I go in there. If I'm in my position room, there's dudes all around that room. I look around that room and I look at all them dudes that's in that room, that's on that wall, that been there before me. Am I holding myself to the standard of those dudes that's on that wall, that's in my room? And if I'm not, then I got to check myself. I got to go out there. I got to go get it done. And it started in practice. Like, you knew in 707, Roy Williams was going to blow you up one time. It didn't matter. And he didn't care. We knew that. We knew Brian. We knew Everett was going to blow you up in 707. In 707, he know it's coming. He going to hit you. But that's the mentality those dudes had in the secondary. And it's just, you just don't see the same mentality that they have. It don't. And a lot of, I'm going to go back again and say, you had Joe Jurassic. He got after you in the weight room. You were scared to come in there on a Sunday to lose. We had he got after you in the weight room. But the mentality that you took on was the mentality because you was with him most of the time. So that's the mentality you took on when the game came on. And then Bob was in there. You know, you can go tell Bob, hey, Schmitty kicked me out of the weight room. I ain't got nothing to do with that, dog. That's you and Schmitty. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's you and Schmitty. You know what I'm saying? But we took that mentality on. And if we was in a game and we wasn't playing well, it wasn't the coaches that would get on us. It was that man right there that would come in and slap water out your hand and tell you ain't playing worth of shit. Let's get at it. I just don't see the same type of like mentality of just I don't see the fear of losing in these guys. You know, when stuff start going bad again in the third quarter, you start saying, okay, here you go. Instead of somebody going to make a play. We had Ante Jones. If something was going wrong, Ante may get a cheap shot, but he was going to stop everything that was going on. We may get 15, but you knew he was there. We won't even get 15.
That's what
we didn't see nobody get 15 for a targeting. Or nothing, just run through somebody's chest for no reason, just to let you know you there. We said Washington State had Dayo Buchanan. We play USC. They got Juju Smith, and I know I'm our gun at the secondary. He killing. Hey, Book, he gonna run a slant. Just run right through his chest. Hey, he ran right through his chest. We got 15, but Juju wasn't the same no more. We ended up winning. And in the fourth quarter, he proposed to run a slant. He stopped. Ball hit the DB in the chest. We gonna pick 6 and win the game. We just don't have that mentality over there. Whatsoever. Like, we don't even have a D lineman that, okay, yeah, you may got me on the ground, but I'm about to get person fired because I'm about to punch you in your face. You guarantee Tom Harris going to punch you in your face if you had him on the ground. Like, we just don't, it's just not in there.
For example, when our quarterback runs, do you see people blocking downfield, Jarrail, or do you see just them guys coming to tee off on our guy?
I'm going to tell you right now, when they hit that dude in the face and he got person fired, when 32 for Iowa State, hit Rattler in the face, it was no O-line that charged him or nothing whatsoever. Let that would have happened back in the day. Like that, it'd have been an issue. It'd have been flags on both sides. And I think it goes back to just the mentality of what they got and the kids they bringing in. Yeah, we getting 5 stars. I showed him one time, so it was a 5-star safety. He got Oklahoma. We got a corner, McClutchin from Austin. Okay, we supposed to beat Alabama. Then the next safety, that's a 5-star, come up. He got Alabama, LSU, Clemson. Why we ain't in that picture? We going after the elite, though. We going after the elite. Why we ain't in that picture?
Right.
Why we ain't in the picture with them? That's the dude that go in and he's starting. He go in and he's starting day one as a freshman. Why we ain't in the top 3? Why we're in the top 3 of somebody who had a torn ACL? Why? Okay, it's a D tackle. Okay, yeah, we beat him. Okay, who we beat? Okay, then we come back. The top D tackle in the country, Alabama, LSU, Georgia. Why we ain't in that? He from Texas. Why we ain't in that one?
Right.
Why the old lineman that Alabama get? Why we ain't in the top 3 or top 4 of that one? That's what that's when you really fighting recruiting. I'm gonna go get so some of that tell me that some of the recruiting is easy. I'm gonna take the easy way out. The kid who, yeah, he's somewhat he got a Georgia offer, but they really ain't hot on him. But you don't know that. Fans don't know that, but he ain't really hot. Why ain't after the kid who Nick Saban FaceTiming? He getting all the mail from Alabama. He get all the mail from Georgia. That's the only way it's gonna change. We got to go get in a fight. Quit making it easy.
Well, it's not going to help our recruiting guys. Are we going to be ranked in the top 25 playing against Texas? And what are they going to be ranked?
I don't think we'll be ranked. I think they will. I think you're on national TV, so you got to right now 11 o'clock. This is about to be the best game I've played in my life.
Talk to him. I'm
about to come out here and I mean that's just like in '96 we went down to OU. We went down to Texas. We 0-4. They was ranked. Ricky Williams and all of them. Billy Sims busting that thing and told us we was playing like we don't deserve to wear the jersey to play at Oklahoma. That's a great. We go out there and beat them. But that's the best game we done play. That's that. But that's just
pride. You know what that was, Jay?
What was it?
It was a pride game.
Yeah.
At a certain point,
pride game for him right here.
You get pushed back against the wall.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to show somebody. You know what I mean? So
this is a pride game right here. Like
this is the perfect game to turn the season around. This is the perfect game to turn the season around. You beat them. You got momentum. Got a little bit more confidence. Some of the people off of you if it bothers you what people say. But you got to get this win. And it's bigger than just the OU Texas, the rivalry. You need it for this team. Yeah, we should do better recruiting. Yeah, we probably will. But what we got is what we got right now. And I want the guys that we have now to know that we support what they're doing, but we're going to hold you accountable for what you're doing. People did it to us, right?
Yep.
We lovingly going to do it to them. It's because we want the best for that program and anybody that played there. You know me, OU La Familia. That's how I think. But they have to put in the work during the week and then show it to the world during the game. You're better than what you're doing. And they know that. They better than what they're doing. They shouldn't have lost that lead. It happened, and it happens sometimes. But they shouldn't have lost that lead and come in and play the way they played the game after that. That you weren't upset enough about that game that you didn't play better in this game. Usually a loss propels more focus, more attention, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more emotion.
PJ, we don't have the physical. We don't make those physical plays, PJ. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry if I sound negative, but people are going to run the ball on us, and people are going to throw the ball deep on us, and we don't have the physical players or the experience to stop that shit. We just don't. And it's the tackling in the hole that gets me the worst. That's what gets me the worst, Jarrail. There's not, guys. That's where it's not a. This is. I mentioned I'm talking about sixth grade. These ain't sixth graders. These is dudes that's on scholarship, bruh.
I'm gonna tell you this, and you guys know this. Up Saturday 11 o'clock. If you ain't feeling,
man,
dudes over there burnt orange, they coming with it now. Right now, they like you on the ropes.
Yeah.
They finna come try to punch you in your mouth. And
we look like food to them right now.
And that's why I'm worried when you said, PJ, that it's about pride. Because to me, like you said, Jarrail, earlier, Bob set you up for that toughness. So when your back was against the wall, fighting twice as hard was the only exception. It wasn't no quit because of everything that you had already been through. This is a big week, y'all. This is a big week. This is a big week.
Huge week.
This big for everybody over there. Your coaching staff. Hey, are you gonna get them ready to play? Are they gonna come out and play like this? The last, like, are they gonna come out and play physical football? Because them guys over there burnt orange.
They're coming right for them.
he feel like he feel like his team is more physical than you, and they gonna come out there and they gonna try to hit you in your mouth, and they gonna continue to hit you in your mouth because this is the first time he got an opportunity to really do what we've been doing to them forever. When Bob came in, we beat them 63-14, and we just kept going. OU was on the it's on the ground. So if I'm that coaching staff, I'm closing them doors. I'm looking at everybody in the eye. Number one, I'm challenging the O-line. Hey, we're gonna run for 100 plus. I'm challenging the D-line. We're gonna shut them down because they're gonna try to run the football. They're gonna come here and try to run the football. Secondary, somebody gonna come in and get it done. I don't want to hear nothing about how small you was because we had Derek Strait playing back end who would lock somebody down. You know, you had Mike Woods who will lock guys down. Now you got to come play with a mentality. Now you're going to see if you're a true 4 or 5 star. Is it in you? Are you a dog? Are you a true? Spurrier said something to me when I was talking about recruiting. He said he always come watch receivers play basketball in the pickup game. And if you was a guy that would just play on the team and just ball and play on the team, he wanted you because he knew when you came to him, you didn't need nobody else to play. You was going to go out there and play. Mm-hmm. If you that always wanted to play with your homeboys and wanted to play on the best team, he didn't want you because you were no dog because you didn't know how to dig down deep and figure out what it was to be a team. Real. He said so that's how he picked his receivers because he wanted to see a guy that just if you roll the ball out there, we finna play. I don't care if I got 5 handicapped people on me. I'm finna play and I'm finna lead this team and I'm finna go play full. I'm finna go play hard. So I think we got a bunch of guys right now who they can't just roll the ball out there and play on any team. They need all those guys around them to help them out, to build them up. And we got too many of them guys, and we don't have one that's going to come lead. So this practice this week should be physical. Like it should be – boys should be getting hurt in practice. Like it should be physical this week. Like this –
It should be intense.
Yeah.
It should be very intense. And the beginning of the – what's going to tell me whether we're ready or not is the line of scrimmage. Does our O-line impose their will on them? Does our D-line impose their will on Texas, or at least win a good amount of the battles? The line of scrimmage dictates who's controlling the game, to me.
What's going to tell it for me is they walk down that tunnel. If it ain't no distraction and there ain't no disruption in that tunnel, we in trouble.
I got to ask y'all this. You're exactly right. And I'm rarely one of those guys. After I say this, y'all probably going to be like, JD, I don't even – but, I mean, you got to talk about it. Adjustments, substitutions, players, production.
In-game adjustments huge.
Well, what positions, PJ? You don't even have to name kids, but but if there was an adjustment, what do you think? What would you go with?
Man, I'm gonna try to see if I can get that running game going. I think I want to see up front what the O-line working with that day, at that time. Like let's are they here? You know what I'm saying? And get the running backs, get them some carries. Let them know y'all in the game. But what I'm also doing is I'm trying to calm Rattler down as well. Get him some run games, this and that. Let him feel the game. Don't feel like you got to win it. You know what I'm saying? So you get your guys eating while I'm watching the O-line to see if they're pushing a man. What was it? Russ Grimm from the Redskins pushing a man from point A to point B against his will. Mm. If we can do a good job on the offensive line, open up a few holes, I think that will set up the confidence to do other things, which is, obviously go a little bit deep with some of the guys. And I think it will settle Rattler down. Because this is his first time starting this is going to be his first time starting in the Cotton Bowl. So that's a whole different experience than anything else. So I want to see what the O-line and D-line does. That's, to me, where the start is. And then also, are you coming hitting somebody with bad intentions? Are you coming downhill to really hit somebody, or are you coming to tackle? PJ, I want to see some hitting Saturday.
I'm with you, but they're going to – if you're Texas, you just run sideways or you just try to split them, misdirect, and get up the middle, and they got fast cats and try to run away from their DBs, PJ. That's why I'm asking. I mean, is there players that – is there a player you're looking for, Jarrail?
Here's what I probably do. I probably mix it all the way up. If we win the toss, I'm going to put the defense out there first.
Oh.
Challenge y'all. Hey, we'll go ahead and make some stops. I'm gonna mix it all the way up. I ain't gonna take the ball like normal. I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna say, hey, we're gonna defer. I'm gonna put that defense out there because right now the defense is reeling because they didn't got the last 2 quarters they reeling. So I'm gonna put the defense out there first. I'm gonna issue the challenge to y'all. Give me a 3 and out, and then they give me a 3 and out. When I come on offense, I'm no holds barred. I'm finna let you say you got 5-star receivers. I'm finna let them loose. I'm finna throw it around there like we got Baker Mayfield and those guys around there, not Jalen Hurts and all that. I'm finna let it loose. I'm finna go back to being what got me to where I'm at now. I'm finna go back to spreading it out, throwing the ball around, putting guys in space, getting guys out the box, and making them play. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to. I'm gonna forget all of. Yep, our run game is gonna be good, but our run game gonna be even better if them dudes on the outside are really going to work. Really going to work. Now, I'm gonna spread you out. We're gonna throw the ball. I'm gonna challenge them receivers. Hey, look, they got a defense. They got some defense. Which if I'm Texas, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stack the box, and I'm gonna play man to man, and I'm gonna make your guys beat me. I'm gonna make you beat me because it ain't been proven. So then I'm gonna tell my receivers, hey, I'm gonna put it on y'all. We're gonna go 6. We're gonna go verticals. We're gonna throw the ball down the field. We're gonna get back to doing what we do. Because the kid can throw the football. And then after I do all that, I'm gonna add a little bit more. I'm gonna add a little bit QB run game in because he can't run. I'm gonna add a little bit QB run game in because he can't run. But the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on the defense. Y'all go out here and give me a stop. Go out here and give me a stop. Or y'all really here to play. Give me a stop. I need to hear pass popping and all that. And I'm going to really issue a challenge up front to that front 7. You know what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to run the football down your hold them under 200 yards. We win the football game.
Man, I'm sorry if I sound so depressed, but is there any good to take out of the game? I mean, what's
the
good?
last one?
Yeah. I think the good thing. I think here's a good thing. Here's a good thing. Yeah, some guys the run game got off a little bit. They made some decent runs. You got your boy Pleasure back. He was physical. I love McGowan. He was physical. Those guys did some good work. Other than that, man, that kid played a decent game outside of the interception that he threw at the end of the game. But he made some good decisions. He ran the football. He made some good decisions. But I just think, man, right now they got a soul search as a whole program over there, from top down, man, top down. You know, am I really doing what I did? Okay, last year was an anomaly because you had Jalen Hurts. He ain't been in the offense.
Right.
You played to his strengths. Let's get back to what we did when we had Kyler Murray. You had all those guys when that ball was flying all over the place. You was making up great play calls and all that. You know, when you was hitting the fullback down the middle for touchdowns and stuff like that. Let's get back to throwing the football around, spreading them out, get the ball on the edge, making those guys run sideline to sideline, making them tired. Then when we get inside, we hit them with the counter and stuff like that. That's Lincoln Riley football. That's what it is. That's Lincoln Riley football. Now, I know everybody been saying your run game, your O-line is physical. Yeah, they physical when your guys are working on the outside, when Hollywood Brown working, when CeeDee Lamb working, when Jeff Badette and those guys out there working. Yeah, now you can go beat everybody up now. But you gotta, in this offense, for what you do, no, you gotta establish those guys on the edge first to get those guys out the box. If you don't establish those guys on the edge, it's gonna be a long night. You're gonna have some success, but then in the third or fourth quarter when you need it, it ain't gonna be there for you.
Man.
Manage your turnovers too.
No, you're right. You're right.
You gotta manage your turnovers. Hopefully
and
you get something in.
And you gotta get some. I mean, the craziest thing about it is that dude was just throwing the ball up in the air. And that's come back to the mentality again.
They were out jumping us.
They was out jumping us, or they was just attacking the football and knocking it down, being more aggressive. I mean, that dude threw a jump ball up off his back foot. That should have been a pick in any other era. And the tight end just passed interference, just threw him down, knocked the ball out. But he was just more aggressive than us. I think that's the reason. That's the deal about getting turnovers. Them dudes got to take chances and be aggressive. Quit being scared to mess up. I mean, shoot. I just think Mike Woods jump out route so many times. They hit him on the out and up. You got him. But he took a chance.
Sanchez too. He used to do that a lot too.
Yeah. Well,
but sometimes he get it and go the other way. Yeah.
But again, guys, I feel bad for our defense. There was a couple plays they were in position and dropped a few picks. There was the big special teams return, but a lot of those players are defenders, but they're put in the red zone, tight zone area. I go back to the majority of the game. Most of these teams, y'all know this. These other teams are between 50 to 55% run. They're going to run the ball half the time to a little bit more than half the time. The physical plays, man. There's who do you guys see out there as they make it Ronnie Perkins back? Is there anybody that gives you hope of again, is there a safety that we need to put in there? Is there a linebacker we need to bring in that you guys have seen or heard about? I mean, what I hate to think of adjustments right now, but PJ, where do we go from here? We have holes.
Yeah, we got a lot of holes. I mean, I think Jay spelled out pretty well what we need to do. But like again, this gotta be important to you. You know what I mean? More than just the football. Like, you ain't look good the last 2 weeks. Your pride should come in at this point. You know what I'm saying? You're playing for you, but you're also playing for you and your family. I'm better. We're better than that. I'm better than what you saw last week. We're better than what you saw the week before that. We're gonna show you today against these cats. And this will be the game. Because if we win this game, okay, well, maybe they got it together, they figured some things out. You go for it. We lose this one too, off the other two, then heads are gonna start dropping. People are gonna be, looking around, that kind of deal. You know how it is. Momentum it works for you sometimes, and sometimes it works against you. We have to change the negative momentum right now. This week. Be ready to play. Yes, OU Texas. But be ready to play for yourself, for your teammates, and for your coaches. And this is not coach speak. In that game, that's what it is. Y'all against them. Us against them. And you got to play like that. I'm not saying don't hit anybody dirty. But I want some people getting up slow. I want some of them Texas guys getting up slow. I want them up. I don't want no knees messed up, no ankles. But they need to be have the feeling of getting knocked on like they trying to do to us. You know what I'm saying? You can impose yourself on somebody else. Can we do it Saturday? I don't know.
What do you think, Jarrail?
I don't know if we can impose ourselves. Hopefully we outscore.
That's the motto, though. Unfortunately, BJ, you're right. That's the motto.
Here's the thing, that Texas team, they gonna look at us
like food.
They gonna see LSU. They gonna see what happened at LSU, and they gonna come in and it's gonna start at that walk on the ramp, that walk down that ramp. If they doing all the jawing and yapping and coming at us, and we just being a little, it's in trouble. We're in trouble. And again, it's right now they should be thinking like Tupac. It's us against the world. When they hit that, when they hit that ramp Saturday, you playing like it ain't no tomorrow. Like I'm leaving it all out there. Like I'm the best game I didn't play. I need to play, and I need to play it with a lot of. I need to play. This is a pride game, like you said. It's a pride game. And this game, you win this game, and no matter you win by 1 or you win by a blowout. What happened 2 weeks ago? Fans are kind of underneath the rug for a little bit. But if you lose this one, and you don't play with no pride, no nothing like that, you really gotta. It's gonna really be hard for you. I hope that they understand what we all talking about, and the one thing I hope they do is I hope they don't be on Twitter from the coaches on down. I hope they just shut it off, and then go play football because all you doing is put a target on your back. Because if you don't play again, fans gonna be on you, and just understand where you at. This game is like no other. It don't matter about the records. It don't matter about the records and nothing like that. And it's gonna be a little bit different because it ain't gonna be that many fans there.
Right.
So the team that got the juice is gonna win it. So this right here, you're gonna really find out a lot. Do I got guys that play for the fans, or do I got guys that's gonna play from the heart and get out here and get it done? Because that's what's gonna happen this week. They coming out for loss, we coming out for loss. Who gonna be the most physical gonna win?
Let me ask you this, Jarrail. I don't like playing the what if game. I really don't. But college football. What happens if this year we would have had to play Army in Tennessee?
Ooh. Tennessee good. Like Tennessee good. I think if this a regular year, we got to give it. So if it's a regular year, and they got spring football, and they had a full summer deal, I think it might be a little bit a different team. Because in spring football, those young guys, you give them a chance to put them in adverse situations. You get a chance to work on your tackling. The stuff that's missing, you work on that in spring football. And then again in the summer, you work on that again. So they a little bit you got kind of the kinks out. Right now, what they doing is, if you really look at it, they making mistakes that they would make in fall practice.
Yep.
They making mistakes that they were making in spring practice. Same thing with those receivers. Those receivers, it all sound good. Wait when it's my turn, it all sound good. But if you ain't had no spring football and had a chance to see the speed of the game, you jump right into it. And you gotta be that guy. If you ain't no dog, it's gonna be exposed. So I think if they would have had to play Army in Tennessee without the pandemic, you looking at 1-4 because Army gonna run the football on. Army going, and Tennessee just got athletes right now, and they playing at a high level. Some of this is though, if you throw in the fact you throw fans into it and all that, we probably play a little bit better because you got the fan support. But with no fans, you talking about going playing a disciplined Army team that understands that number one, they mentally gonna be there. They mentally gonna be there, so they gonna bring their own energy in practice. Our guys mentally not there. Like our guys are mentally not like we got a group that if the fans was in there and they was playing in front of 80,000-90,000, we probably play a whole lot better. Because now you got something to drive, you got something. We don't have them dogs that can just line up and hey, we at the park. Me and you at the park. That's all us. It's my street versus your street. I ain't nobody out here watching. Who gonna get it? Them type of dudes.
Jarrail, tell them, PJ. Tell them what scrimmages were like preseason. That shit was live. That shit was live.
There was no joke.
I mean, that was
Definitely no joke.
yeah, that was
Real.
yeah,
I remember one time. I don't know if you was there, Jay. It was a punt return. And he told everybody it was live.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Hey, listen, I didn't know it was live.
Oh,
He
Lord.
told everybody it was live but me. You remember that, Jay?
Man.
I remember that. They come down trying to strike him. They come down trying to. I'm gonna tell you, my freshman year.
Doing?
Hey, my freshman year we was there, and our red shirt, they was getting ready to play San Diego State. Well, I'll forget. He made us go to the other locker room and get dressed like the San Diego State team. So we came out and played like a real game. Hey, we scored on them and started talking noise. That was the worst thing ever. Said Jones and them started hitting us like it was like we was.
Oh
like,
my God.
San Diego State, like those boys out there teeing off.
Yeah.
Like practice was. I remember, and then when Bob got there, we had a scrimmage in Tulsa, and he didn't think it would win how it's supposed to win. So he called up. We was on the bus ride back. He said, "Hey, at 8:00 Sunday morning, make sure you got your mouthpiece. So we're gonna redo it again in that stadium without no fans." And you talk about boys getting knocked out.
Yeah.
Hey, boys getting it was. And he told it's live on everybody, including the quarterback.
Yeah.
So them BV was heating Josh Heupel up. He came in. So, and I just think that's a different mentality of the coaches, man. And what's going on? Nick Saban, a defensive minded coach. Them dudes gonna play physical. Mike Leach is an offensive minded coach. So sometimes, like yesterday, them dudes dropped 8 on them. That's it. They dropped 8. So if you're an offensive minded coach, that take away all your mesh routes, and now you got to really lean on the run game to win. So I think, this team now, year 5, is taking on the identity of number 1, a strength coach, and number 2, the head coach, and then the position coaches as it goes down. I love Grinch. Grinch does a good job, but he's not a real intense guy like a Mike Stoops or a Brent Venables on the sideline. He's not animated like that. Tib does a good job at the O-line. But he ain't gonna grab you like Jackie Ship. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want that.
Bebo do a good job on the O-line, but he ain't gonna get in your face like Mangino or Kevin Wilson. Or, same thing at quarterbacks. Kel ain't had no problem. We all hated Kel. I hated Kel. And he just coached me on kickoff return because he was always in my ear.
Maybe better though.
Yeah, maybe better. Jonathan Hayes, Coach Hayes. Love him to death. Coach Hayes problem telling anybody how he felt about you, when he wanted to feel about you. And he didn't need permission from Bob. He didn't need permission from nobody else. Them dudes, Them dudes just did it, and they did it out of love, and they did it out of understanding the respect of the program and the expectations of the program to win.
Yeah.
You don't see that. Like, if Smitty felt like you was playing bad, you could have swore Smitty was your receiver coach because he may pull you and jack you up off the field in the locker room and tell you what was on his mind. I just don't see it on the sideline where guys and coaches are just calling them up and just letting them have it and refocus them. And you're not embarrassing them. Shoot, you refocusing them on what they need to do. You emphasizing on what they need to do.
Man, Jonathan Hayes was my coach my freshman year, so everything you said, it just hit home. I mean, he, like you talk about undressing, I mean, I'll never forget him, me being able to, again, work my way up to varsity through physicality. I was the first guy to get pulled up to varsity because of one hit during a scrimmage. Y'all know how it goes. BV, right. Hey, Mike, y'all ain't hitting my guy no more. Go over there. Jonathan Hayes sits me down. Okay, you need to hit everybody like that or your ass is going back scout team. Okay? So, I mean, there's no exception. During the games, you mess up, Coach Hayes is on you. There's no questions asked. And then, man, Jarrail, you just talked about how just powerful Bob's voice was and how everything worked in sync, how the coaches were there. There was no slacking. There was no slacking from the kicking game. There was no slacking from the returners, the front line on the kickoff return, the blocking as the up backs. Trust me, they on you. You're graded on everything. And I feel, listen, when y'all talked about the expectation, so if things were the way they were when I was there, okay, right after the game, there would have been a group of players that would have came over and said, hey, everybody over here, tomorrow we're going to meet up there at 9:00, okay? We're going to go through the film by ourselves, and then all y'all cats that didn't get y'all's knockdowns, y'all going to go practice blocking for 2 hours. You guys that missed tackles, y'all going to go practice tackling each other for 2 hours. Then we're going to do 7-on-7. Then we're going to do blah, blah, blah. I mean, there would have been a plan in place by the players before the coaches even had to talk to us. By the time we had the team meeting, we would have been, we would probably had the team meeting at 8 a.m. first of all. So, and hopefully, by then the coaches was going to give us the day off, quote unquote. But it was going to be a work day. And that entire week was going to be focused. There was, when you saw teams, there was a reason we didn't lose back-to-back games for 20 some odd years under Bob.
That's crazy.
There's a reason though, PJ, because
right.
The team was full of fighters. The team was full of fighters. They were used to being in that shit. They don't care. They don't care what the score was. Go ahead, Jarrail.
Hey, it's like you said, as a fighter, and there was a dude by the name of Jerry Schmidt that if you lost, see him on a Sunday,
it was even worse.
It was even worse. But that was the fear of losing. You know what I'm saying? That was the fear of losing when he was there. And you understood, man, what them dudes. I remember Jonathan Hayes. This is my first time ever meeting him. I got a hat walking in the building. I'm going to see. I'm going to see Clarence. I got a hat on walking in the building. Hey, take your son. I was like, man, who are you, dude? Like, I don't even know you. So he stands up, walks over to me, takes my hat off, puts it in my chest. I'm your new tight end coach. Take your goddamn hat off, son. You got it, coach. Hey, I ain't like, but that's what we had. I mean, that's just the mentality we had, and then it carried over in the play, man. It carried over in the guys playing. Like, them dudes played hard on the D line because you never knew what shit was gonna do. Them dudes played hard for BV because BV had them work. Like, BV had them over the individual drills working the dog out of them. Yeah. Man, G may snap on you at any moment, and it's just to see those guys on the sideline, man, as a coach and then as a former player, just to watch how you don't just bring them together and just get at them to get that fire out of them, to get it. And I don't know if you scared you might break them. That if you say something to them, they might go in the tank. Well, hell, they already in the tank. They gave up 21 straight. I mean, what else you gonna do? You can't do nothing else. I mean, and if they the type of players that you recruited, and if you get on them in front of him, like me, if you get on me, Clarence got on me on national television in Texas for doing something wrong. Next time I got there, I ran a punt back because I'm embarrassed. So and that's just the nature of what you got in that thing. Do you have real dogs in that thing that's really that really gonna bounce back and get it? And right now, I don't see a guy on the defense in the secondary that can tell me we're gonna go out here and do 7-on-7. Nah, bro. I don't see a guy outside of Smith and Rattler that can tell me, come on, we're gonna go do 7-on-7 on a Sunday. And I don't see that. Like I know Josh Heupel will come get us. Hey, we're gonna be out here on the field at a certain time. And we was there. We was there because we wanted to get better. Notre Dame beat us. We was out there the next day. We was out there that Sunday throwing balls all day long. Balls that we dropped all day long. But we held each other accountable, man. And them coaches held us accountable too.
Yep.
Like them coaches ain't want to. It wasn't one of those deals where I'm gonna text you do something wrong, or I'm gonna talk to you behind closed door. Nah, you mess up right here, I'm gonna let you have it. And either you gonna pout or you gonna bounce back and get back into it.
You made me think of a great point, because you mentioned special teams and Coach Hayes and story with Michael Hawkins, one of our highest rated recruits. He wasn't getting to play, kind of going through a little bit. In my opinion, I thought he was a little depressed, but we had so much depth that he's sitting behind Andre Woolfolk and Derek Strait, and the kid's still getting to play as a true freshman. But anyway, he every day special teams 130, and I just learned that really means like 120, right? So just get your ass in there early, sit behind Coach Hayes, and just listen and learn. 129, Hawk tries to walk in right as this flipping 130, and Coach Hayes is going through that. He don't miss a beat. Yeah, guys, we're going to do this in our kickoff return. Hawk, what time's the meeting start? 1:30. Well, get your ass in here on time. Just that big ass voice, you're like, oh shit, and he 30 seconds, he walking in right as it's on. But again, you everybody else in here, you not. Like, we don't care if you're the top ranked recruit in the freshman class. That don't matter to them. You don't care if you got to pick 6 on the third game. Don't matter. Like, the standard was the standard, and I'm just, woo, guys, is the standard still the standard?
Ooh, I mean,
is it or should it be?
What is the standard right now though?
What PJ said to outscore people win the Big 12.
Outscore people, hopefully out talent them. And I don't mean that with no disrespect. That's just what I see. Did you see anything, Jay? Do you see anything different?
No, I ain't see that different. I mean, but that the standard need to go back to being what OU football is about. Play great defense in the back end and still can have a good offense. But again, that comes back with you got to do true evaluation on kids, man. You got to be able to take. You can't get all caught up in I gotta be in the top 10 of recruiting. No, let me go get some dogs in play that can put me in a national championship. Because the thing about Alabama is all them kids ain't top 10, top 5, but what they do is they do a damn good job of developing them dudes, man. They do a damn good job of developing those. That kid they got right there now is a track kid. I can't remember his name. Yeah, world class speed.
He rolled out the other day. He rolled out the other day.
He looked like guardable.
Yeah, but a lot of that comes in the work they do in the summertime. He doing receiver work. Whatever their receiver coach do, they doing good. I had a chance to spend time with him. That dude is a monster on what he do with what they. And he played to their strengths, and them dudes do a good job of developing them.
Do we know what we're looking for?
Well, you know where Waddle's from, though, right?
Where?
Where he from?
He Texas guy.
Texas kid.
You hear that? Yo, look at me.
Hey.
PJ's face.
PJ,
where? How you end up over there?
Hey, you know that tight end? The tight end from Iowa State. You know where he's from, right?
Norman North, baby.
Norman. His parents worked at OU.
I know. He had a game, too. Yeah. He had a real good game. But it goes back to, PJ and Jarrail, and I know we've hit on this before, but it goes back to the recruiting standard. And I don't want to say the standards. The recruiting location-wise is not the same. For us, we don't dominate Houston. Obviously, Jalen Waddle's from down there, and he's at Alabama, right? We don't dominate Dallas because there's still debates on whether we're getting top kids out of Dallas or not. We don't get Oklahoma right now because you just mentioned that there's a kid that had a hell of a game against us from Oklahoma who had another teammate from Oklahoma. I don't know, man. When I do those roster breakdowns, it is scary how many states occupy our roster. And when you guys tell me that it's important for kids to understand what they're going through, how does a kid from Virginia understand what Oklahoma is? How does a kid from Illinois, New Jersey, and I get it. we're trying to get the top guys. But I mean, for me, it sounds like what Jarrail said is we're taking the easy route, man. Is we're taking the route of least resistance of this kid's gonna finish, this kid's gonna be there. Hopefully, by the time he's a junior or senior, he's a draft pick type guy, a late round. I mean, that's what it seems like to me. Am I wrong?
I think some of it is you got to look at the quality of football kids playing too. Some of those kids, some of those 5-star, 4-star kids are playing in soft leagues. So that's the reason we getting it. And then some of those kids, when you got to go get in a battle, got to get in a fight, that's a 5-star kid that's playing at a big time 6A program in Texas, or playing at a big time 6A program in Alabama or Georgia. That's legit football. You got to go. They're not impressed with because you're a Jordan school.
Man.
Tell me to the league. Tell me what you're gonna do for me. So a lot of those kids you gotta look at the quality of football that they playing. And that didn't, like, I learned that at Mississippi State with Dan. Dan was like, okay, you're gonna bring me a Texas kid. Okay. Do we understand this Mississippi value? This Mississippi, what these Mississippi kids go through to play football out here, to play out in the swamp with no lights, with mosquitoes on that dirt grass? Or is this Texas kid gonna come in expecting I played in this $20,000 stadium as a high school kid, understanding that when we go practice at the Forum, we practice out in the dirt field with some sticks and some stickers. Is he gonna really understand that? And like, because I would bring Texas kids to him, and he was like, "Okay, where you from? How many garages he got?"
Man.
You know, he all those questions because in his mind, if a kid got a 4 or 5 car garage, that ain't the kid that he want, because that kid ain't really had to put in that work and stuff like that. So I think in recruiting, we getting 5 stars, but are we really evaluating the level of football he playing in? If he's a 5-star kid out of New Jersey, he only playing in 2 schools. If he a 5-star, is he better than this 2-star, this 3-star I got that's on a 6A school down in Dallas, that's at Duncanville, that's playing the North Shores, that's playing everybody? Is he better than him, or am I taking him because he a 5-star kid and he easy? Yeah, he may have Alabama, he may have all them, but they're not really recruiting him. He just on his list. Okay, now let's go look at this 5-star kid out of Georgia. He a big time receiver. He got Georgia, legit Georgia. He got Alabama. He got all them in. Can we go in? Let's go get in the fight with them, because I know that kid's legit. He played a legit program. He got legit guys on him. Let's go play. Let's go. He not impressed with, because when you come here, I'm gonna give you every new pair of Jordans. He not impressed with that. Tell me how you gonna develop me as a wide receiver. So I come in as a freshman. Here's my deficiencies. Tell me what my deficiencies are when I'm recruiting. That's what I'm able to tell when I recruit a high school kid. Hey, look, here's what I'm gonna work on. Here's what I'm gonna make better for you. Okay, you struggle right now getting out of press, but you good going vertical. So now when you get here, here's what I can do to help you. Here's what I can develop. Here's how I develop you from point A to point B. You gotta be able to do that. You gotta be able to tell a kid that, yeah, it's okay. I had Hollywood Brown. He was the 1st round pick. Hollywood Brown came from JUCO though, so he already had habits. He already had ways. Did you? CeeDee Lamb was here when you got here. He was part of Bob's crew. Did CeeDee Lamb get any better from point A to point B? Did he? We don't know. I mean, that's the way he was taking it. You know, I had D.D. Westbrook. D.D. Westbrook was a JUCO guy. He was already here. He had ways. You didn't have to do much to D.D., but just send him on the way. So you got to be able to sit in that kid's room. Same thing as a DB. I got to be able to sit in his room and say, hey, I need to be able to develop you from point A to point B to get you here to the next level. That's what the other staff was able to do. That's what Jackie Shue was able to do. Sit in your room and say, hey, look, I took Tommy Harris. He was a fat dude out of weight. I slimmed him up and got him to here. Same thing with G.K. McCoy. I developed him from point A to point B. And, you know, Steve Spurrier Jr., I developed Mark Clayton from a quarterback to a receiver. I developed Andre Woodfolk from a DB to a receiver. Like, that's what you got to be able to understand and be able to do. Baker Mayfield was a transfer, came in, been through the fire. Kyler Murray, transfer, came in, been through the fire. Hey, so now I got Spencer Rattler, so I got to spend some time with him. I got to develop him into a leader of a program, because right now he's still doing what he did at Air 7. That's the attitude he got. But now I got to sit down with him. And so now this coaching staff got a challenge. They really got dudes that they got to really sit down. I got dudes I got to really sit down with and coach. Theo Weiss 2 years into the program. He been here for 2-3 years. So he should be able to. CeeDee Lamb left, I should be able to step in and play. My level may not be as high as CeeDee Lamb right now because it's here, but my fundamentals should be. My mindset should be. Kenyon Rambo, I played. I've been on the field. I was a dog as a friend. I remember you when we played Alabama. My mindset, I was a dog as an Alabama. I got in the game. Your mindset ain't the same now as it was 2 years ago when you played Alabama in that game when Hollywood Brown was hurt. So that comes into how much are they getting developed behind closed doors, or have we been always depending on always having that one guy that's been there, been through the fire, and he been able to carry us. That's the deal that I learned coaching the D2 because we took so many JUCOs. I always had to have them dudes ready to go because I may have 2 or 3 JUCOs and he may be out of here, and I didn't miss a beat. That 2 years, them 3 years I was there. I had 2 seniors who came in and we set records. They left. I had 4 freshmen and we didn't miss a beat. All 5 of them was over 800 yards receiving and was able to make a play whenever we need to make a play. But that's because of the simple fact that when they came in, I'm gonna coach you just like I'm coaching him because he's gonna be gone. So when he gone, it's your turn and there should be no drop off. And I just think now it's been a drop off. If you look back to when Hollywood Brown then was it's been a drop off from offensive production. You can say because it was a quarterback or whatever. Shouldn't have been. It's a quarterback friendly system is what he always say. I just think we got to recruit the guys that can really play football. And then when they get here, it's on you to develop them to be where they need to be.
PJ, I want you to add on to that, but also we can end it with this has been amazing. Is Texas a must win? If we do win, can we save the season? If we don't win, is it the beginning of a snowball effect? Just let me know either way.
Definitely a must win. It's definitely a must win. Maybe 3 losses in a row.
Mm-hmm.
What are we gonna do with that?
Yeah.
So take the rivalry away from it for just a moment. We know it's a big game, it's a rivalry, the rant, we love all of it. We need this game. Period. We need this game. Yeah, so you Texas. Okay, yeah. The hoopla is gonna be there. I need the football players to go in there and do what they gotta do. This is a pride game, man. This is a pride game. We all played in it, it's fun. But this is a pride game, man. I'm really serious about this. And I know that they're gonna go out there and do their work this week, but I need to see the work done Saturday. That's where it is, man. This is Oklahoma. There is no excuses. There were no excuses when we weren't winning. They put it on us. Okay. We took that. It is what it is. You win, you know, to the winner goes the spoils. Right? I own it. It is what it is. Didn't matter how good individually we played, that era's looked at a certain way. They have a chance to do something about this season. Right now, forget a championship. Forget the conference championship. Forget trying to get into the Final Four. Beat Texas. Restart your year. Right? And then wherever it lays out, you can at least lay your head at night and say, I did the best I could. But you know they didn't do the best they could the other game. And that's what really kills you, is if you did your best and somebody was just better, he was better today. But if you went out there and gave up a lead like 2 weeks ago, you know that wasn't on them. That was on you. Us. However you want to look at it. Yesterday. We ain't supposed to lose that game like that. We ain't supposed to lose that game, but that's why I keep telling you, JD. That's why I've been telling you, Jay, when we talk. If we don't out-talent teams, we don't win. And that should not be the case. That should not be the case that we have to out-talent you to win it. We can't just say, oh, yeah, CD got it. Hollywood got it. Didi got it. No, we ain't got them 3 guys no more. We got some guys that can play. We don't have them 3. Right? You ain't got Mixon back there. You ain't got Adrian back there. Right? I'm not trying to diminish anybody that's on the team now. I'm saying there have been times where you got guys that other team ain't really got nothing they can do with them. Right? Okay. We don't have that right now. We don't have anybody on offense that the other team said we can't do nothing with him. So what does that mean? That doesn't mean we can't win. It means we can't do what we've normally done as out-talent team. Now we got to go work. Now we got to go fight for this. Right? Fight for this. You can change the trajectory of this season and change the concept of this team. Because right now it looks not physical enough, not disciplined enough, and can't close even when you're ahead. And I don't say this out of joy. I say it because I love this program, and I got there in 92. I still love the program. I say these things. I say the negative things that I see because I want it to change for the better, not to diminish anybody there, because I went through that. They can do better than what they're doing, but they got to make up their mind that they're going to do it. Coach JJ can tell you this. Coach JD can tell you that, but they can't play for you. You have who you have on the team. Make the best of it. This should be the biggest pride game you've had in a long time. People out here talking bad about you.
Real bad.
Real bad about you. And they see it on the work. They talking about you bad. And here's the question. Like Jim Brown said to Richard Pryor, what you gonna do? Are you gonna just roll over and lay down? Or you gonna get up and go get it? And this is the perfect team to go beat. This changes your season.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about no conference championship and definitely not no Final Four. This changes the direction of this team. It needs to get turned around in some type of way quickly.
Yeah. My senior year, PJ, it was the end game. We had to wait all the way to beat Oregon in the Holiday Bowl for everybody to forget. And it's amazing. You know, you bring it up. Nobody remembers that we were 2-3. Nobody remembers that we, were a half game away. If it would have been if it were the new format, that Texas Tech play where we got hosed on it, I would have been for a spot to go to the Big 12 championship.
And can I say one more thing? Can I say one more thing real quick to both of you? If it is a loss, let it be aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Be aggressive in whatever it is. Be aggressive at the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
Be aggressive with the linebackers. I'm not saying go knees ahead, but be aggressive, physical. Make them feel you every time you take them down. Whether we win or lose, I don't know what's going to happen. You know what I want to happen. But this game, man, obviously OU Texas is huge. It's all of that. But, this is the biggest pride game I can think of this year.
Real.
You gave it up, got beat up. Now you playing Texas. You know they over there.
They ready.
They think we food coming up there.
They ready.
Yeah.
Jay, they think we food coming up there Saturday.
Yeah,
right? They think they about to eat. So you can't do anything about the games already played. You can't. But what you can do is, whatever the result is, be aggressive, be physical, and be first. Be aggressive, physical, and I should say this, smart. But be aggressive, physical, and be first. You're going to hit somebody, hit them first. Don't sit back and try to be too cool. Don't sit back and be too cool, man. I'm getting amped already waiting for this week.
No, for real.
We need this one, man. We need to change the trajectory of this season. We really do, Jay.
Jarrail, finish us off.
This is a pride game, not for only for them, but for this coaching staff. This is the first time this coach staff. So this is a pride game for them too. So this is where you gonna see what they all about. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time they've been this first time they have experienced this type of criticism coming at them. Like it's been a honeymoon for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't understanding what's going on. But what they need to do is, like you said, it's a pride game. Like I would ban Twitter, social media the whole week. We gonna come in here, man. We gonna get physical. I'm not worried about what the fans say. I'm not worried about what nobody else say. Because if I'm Texas, I'm taking the approach that LSU took on us. I'm gonna talk noise to you I'm gonna talk noise all the way to the game time. And then I'm gonna step out there and I'm gonna try to be the bully. I'm gonna push you around in pregame because I think you soft. I'm gonna push you around in pregame. I'm gonna push you around on the field. I think the mentality, just knowing Tom Herman and being around Dan Mullen and those type of guys, his mentality going into this game right now, he gonna feel like OU is a weak team with a weak-minded person at the top. And he gonna come in and he gonna try to gonna try to play physical mind game. I'm gonna look at him right now. Hey, it's a pride game for you. Like when you walk down that ramp, it's about that what you got on the front of that jersey and what that mean to you. You got that man, you got your shirt. That man ain't play soft in closeout games. So you got you got a lot to play for. But number one, you got to play for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Pride for yourself, that team. And they just got to go out there and let it loose, man. Like he said, if you lose where it's a physical game where they got 3-4 guys being knocked out, and stuff like that. Don't go out there and lose. You don't go out there and lose where you just playing soft and they just ran down your throat all game long and make you take it. At some point, you got to fight. And this is a game where you got to fight back. Ain't no fans. Ain't going to be a lot of fans. So it's going to be, we should be here on TV. We should hear the pass popping. Like we should hear it popping.
Mm-hmm.
Go play football, man. Go all that being cute and I want to have 13,000 Jordan wristbands on. Go out there with a pair of gloves, a mouthpiece, and go play football, man. In that dirt, go play football. It's this a game right here. If they go out and just punch them in the mouth and win, we'll sweep it underneath the rug. You start off fresh.
Yep.
Now, if you go out there and get embarrassed, it's gonna be turmoil. But I hope they go out there, man, and play hard, play fast, play physical, play smart, and play like Sooners. Play like Sooners. Go do some research on the game. Go look back at all the games when we was getting at it. Look at it. Take it all in, and then go play football.
And I would add one more thing, and everything you said is great. And I definitely want to hear what you say, JD. Be aggressive on offense. Be aggressive. I'm not saying take bad chances, but there's a difference between being aggressive and passive. Go take the game. Take the game.
I'll keep it simple. Physicality wins this game. The team that's smarter, the team that's tougher, the team that takes the pride that you guys have talked about into the week, the team that takes the juice. I won't want to steal your phrase, Jarrail, but you can feel it. You can really feel when you're prepared for that game. When you walk down and you know you about to beat them cats, you feel it. If there's any hesitation, that it's going to be a long day. I've experienced a long day my senior year, but even then, I mean, I think it was like 14-6 at half or something like that. I mean, it was a close game with the national championship team. Physicality kept us in it. Turnovers killed us. Not playing smart and going one back in the second half, going away from run game. Some of the same things we talking about. I mean, we got to avoid. I don't think we go out of this game, guys. I don't think we come out of this game 53% pass and are successful. I think we got to run. I think that throughout the week that sharpens our mentality. Iron sharpens iron, and it sharpens our mentality and our defense. Hey, if those guys ain't gonna tackle, then we need to replace them right now before we go down to Dallas. So you're right. You're right. And one thing I want to see is I know we love the big hits. I want to see tackling. Yeah.
Because sometimes you throw that shoulder and you roll off and the person keeps going. I want when you come in front of somebody, you take them down. Whether if it's just a generic tackle or whether you got a nice hit on. Because sometimes people come with the shoulder looking for the big hit and they bounce off and roll. This needs to be a fundamentally sound defense, being very aggressive, but also being what's the word I'm looking for? Being using proper technique when you tackle.
Here's what I want to see, man. I want to see them let the D-line be the D-line. Don't all that moving and we move here on every snap of the ball. line up in the gap and let us win our one-on-ones. Because you moving, they block down, they get a linebacker out of position, and they hit you for a run. I want to see you just line up. Hey, we're gonna play a 4-3. You're gonna be in this gap. We may run a stunt every now and then, but I want to see my D line go against their O line. I don't want to see all that moving on it before the snap of the ball, and I'm moving before the snap of the ball. I want to see us line up and play football.
Yep.
Me versus you. Let my D line work. Yeah, we've been on the D line, but you gotta understand, them dudes be sliding and moving every play. Let them dudes line up in the gap and go one-on-one with that O line and see what we can get done. Play old school. Or let our linebackers stay clean, come downhill, and hit them in the mouth. All that moving and all that stuff on the snap of the ball, if they get caught, now you putting your linebackers in the vulnerability. It worked for us in the Pac-12. I ain't gonna lie. It did, because it was a passive lead. It's different now. Yeah. It's different athletes. So I want to see them just come back. I think that's one adjustment I will make on defense. Just line up. Let me see how good my D line is. Let me put them in the gap. I ain't gonna slant them. I ain't gonna move them. I ain't gonna do none of that. I'm going to see if we can win a one-on-one up front. And we do that and control line of scrimmage, we be good. We sitting there, that's what I want to say. We sitting there moving and sliding. Yeah, we create some chaos sometimes, but a lot of times we create holes and put the linebackers in a bad situation. I just want to see you line up, put them in a gap, 4-3 gap, and let's see what you recruited over there. Let's see if those guys came to play football. Let them go. Just let them go that way and play that way and play sound football.
Man. This is going to be awesome. I could go for 2 more hours, but this would take 2 great hours of content for the fans, man. They're going to love it. Hey, man, let's just do this shit again next weekend. Hopefully we don't have to talk about being 0-3. Hopefully we can say, hey, we're getting back on the winning ways, and the standard is still the standard, tradition still tradition, but it ain't been pretty, y'all.
It ain't.
Yeah, frustration is there, but it's still OU versus everybody.
Right.
There's still some time to change around this season. We're better than to start with Saturday, but you got to be physical. Because they're going to think they can come through and punk us. And it would be nice if we got a couple of turnovers, ripping the ball out of somebody's hand. If we get some turnovers, that give us obviously extra possessions and takes the ball out of their hands and maybe frustrates them a little bit. But we need to be physical. And if we win or lose, they need to be coming forward, not being blown back.
Real. Man, much love to you guys. Go enjoy your rest
of
the weekend.
All love. Good to see you, Jay.
Great to see you.
All right, see you later.
My dude.
Fullback you.
All right, man. Peace.